We are recording. You're good to go, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Welcome everyone to the October 8th hall meeting for the Nottawa Memorial Community Center. To start off, I'd like to get approval of the agenda. Has anyone, actually, I believe I'm supposed to say everyone has received the agenda and they've had a chance to read it, correct? Perfect. I'd like to get a motion for someone to approve the agenda. Okay, so it sounds like Carrie approved it, Councillor Deneen seconded it, and everyone in favor.
I motion to approve.
Perfect. Okay, so before we go any further that, does anyone have to disclose any pecuniary interests?
No, not for me.
No,
Nope.
me either.
Nope.
Perfect. Okay, so can we get approval of the minutes?
I motion to approve.
Or is that up to me to do that? Okay, so Carrie motions to approve. Councillor Deneen will second. Everyone in favor?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so under item 5, we have business arising from the minutes. And I believe that was up to Jason to take care of, who isn't around, so we're not going to be able to get any more information on that today. So we'll push that business arising from the minutes down to the next meeting. And when Jason's there, he can speak to that. As for the financial report, the township to provide a profit and loss statement.
And I didn't see that. If we got one, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it in the, I did not see it in the email either for the financial statement. However, I'm not sure much else has changed.
It looks like Kayla isn't able to hear us.
Sorry, I'm chatting with our visitor in attendance. I assumed it was Doug because you lose quorum as soon as Doug disappears.
And he did.
And he did, so.
I'm wondering if maybe he's going to get a different device.
Maybe.
So does that mean we need to?
There he is.
Oh, there he is again.
Can you hear me now?
Yay!
We can hear you now.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so since we lost quorum, Kayla, do I need to restart?
No, you can continue. That's fine. It's technical glitches. We're all trying to get used to this interesting, wonderful world of electronics.
Perfect. Glad. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so from the financial report, I didn't receive a profit and loss statement and see that in the email, although I'm sure not much has changed from the last meeting.
No, and the only question I had, and I can't remember if it was last meeting or the meeting before now, that we talked about our repayment. And I don't believe that's ever been taken care of, but we can when we get that, we can have a look, I guess.
I did speak to Emmy on that for you.
Thank you.
I believe she's going through with the first one, but wanted to put the second one on hold to ensure that this is something that you wanted to move forward with before she did cash the second check, as I mean, COVID has probably put a damper on everybody. So I think that would be worth discussing at this time.
I thought we had decided last meeting that we were going to make that payment back.
I believe it was a single payment, was it not? I didn't think there was two payments. I think it was only one.
There was your original payment in a motion from the January meeting, the very beginning of 2020, and then there was the decision to possibly pay a second installment, and I believe it was July.
Okay.
So Emmy's wondering, do you guys want to make a motion to hold back that July payment and not go through with that one?
Okay, so I would support withdrawing that second motion, mostly because I think the confusion was in play because it had never been withdrawn from our account from the first motion. So I wasn't sure if it had been approved and actually happened. So
I was under the understanding that it was our second installment, but I could be wrong on that. And I don't have the minutes right in front of me, of course, but I thought
yeah.
it was our second installment that we were doing, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, I agree with you. That could be both, actually. So perhaps we can agree to continue with the initial installment that we approved in January, and we can review the second installment at the next meeting.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, I guess, considering.
Yeah, I think
thanks.
that's a good idea.
Excellent, guys. Thank you, Kayla, for getting that straightened out.
No problem. Sorry for the confusion, guys.
Oh, that's part of what we're doing here these days. So thank you for that.
Okay, so I am looking at the minutes, and we did discuss removal of having been removed. So the lock has been removed from the garbage bin. The last time I was by the hall, end of last week, the bin was still there. So has that been arranged? Was that arranged to be picked up and removed? I think
I can speak to that. Jason White contacted them and then had trouble getting through. So I contacted them and made sure that Jason White was given full authorization to represent the hall on the account. But I've not been able to confirm with Jason whether he's finished anything further than that.
Okay. Fair enough. Do we have any bills that we need to have brought up? Have we received any bills, Kayla? I would imagine not, because we've suspended the internet, so that bill isn't coming in. Hydro's direct withdrawal now, correct?
I don't know about that, Calvin.
I think it may be. Okay. Okay, so is there anything else we need to discuss under the financial report part of the meeting before I move on?
I don't think so.
There is. The electrical outlet. So I got a second quote for the electrical outlet. I did email everybody what that quote was going to be. So that was from Hurt Electric. And that quote came out to $989 plus taxes, which is approximately $200 cheaper than the first quote we got. I did contact Rigney Electric for a third quote, and they said they would contact me to book the time to go to the hall and have a look and do a quote. And that's kind of where the conversation ended. So we currently do have two quotes. We have two quotes at two different prices. I'm assuming that we should be able to put forward a motion to go with one or the other at this point, now that we have more than one quote, or is 3 required?
Can you hear me, Cal?
I can, yes.
There was a discussion, to be honest, between the CAO and Mr. Vachon and Mara Burton, who is our senior manager for community development. There was a discussion about Christmas lights, and I'm not sure where that landed. So with your blessing, I'm going to send a text message off to Mr. Vachon right now and see if he can respond, because there was a discussion point there about the electrical outlets. So I don't know how that ended. So if you want to give me a minute, carry on, and I'll see if I can get you an answer, okay?
Okay. So we'll revisit that when we got more information on it then. For maintenance report, the hall's still there. I've been visiting roughly once a week. Nothing's flooding, flushing toilets. I did get the thermostat disconnected from the Wi-Fi. That was quite fun. But yeah, that is now accomplished, so we can control the thermostat from the touchpad. So I've got it
Thanks.
set at, I just got it set at 14. As it gets colder, I'll go in and check it. I figure we just need to have it hot enough at this point that the pipes aren't going to freeze. Any more than that, I think, is a waste of energy. So we'll leave it at 14 and go from there.
Thanks, Calvin.
I tested all the fire alarms. They're all working. And I tested all the battery backup lights. They are all also working.
Great, thanks.
And I plan to do that on a monthly basis going forward. Do those checks every month. And I also changed the furnace filter last week because it had been approximately 3 months. So I changed that out. And yeah, that's about where we're sitting. I did set up I took all the stuff that was dropped off for the, the opening up kit that was dropped off to us. So I did put all that downstairs in front of the, in front of our room, just on the tables in the basement in front of the room that is under the stairs. So that stuff's all there now. I mean, no one's going in and out of the hall, so it doesn't really need to be secured. There's, I did set up the hand sanitizer at the entrance, and I filled up the hand sanitizer bottles and put them in the bathroom in case anyone's there to do any inspections of any kind, and that stuff's available to them to use. So that's all there as well. Other than that, as for a maintenance report, other than the electrical stuff, I don't have any much more to add. I think that's about it to do with the maintenance report of the hall.
Thanks, Calvin.
Thanks a lot.
Well done.
As for, I guess we can move on to booking updates, which there's not much to talk about now as we are still not open. So we can skip over that one. I don't believe we need to talk about any of the upcoming or past events at this point, as there's nothing upcoming and we've already discussed everything that's passed, correct?
I think so.
The only thing I didn't know, we had talked about revisiting reopening on a monthly basis, so I didn't know if we had to touch base on that, just that we're not. I don't know.
I was going to touch base on that in new business.
Okay, perfect. Thanks,
I plan to
Calvin.
bring that up, which is next. So
Okay.
That's perfect. So new business, let's talk about our reopening plan. My thoughts on that right now is the way the government has put restrictions on what the amount of people we can have inside. I believe it's a maximum of 10 inside right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until that number increases, I think we should put even discussion of reopening off the table, because there is virtually no point in my mind at only allowing 10 people in the hall to even bother opening. I don't think anyone would have any reason to rent the hall for less than 10 people.
Right.
That's a pretty fair statement. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to put forward a motion that we will remain closed until the restrictions of gathering inside the hall increase to, let's say, 50 people?
25 anyway. I think that'll be the next number
25?
to be honest. But
do we,
yeah.
Well, okay, let's before I stop the motion, do we want to try to reopen at 25? I mean, is it going to be worthwhile at 25, especially with the restrictions that I read most recently, where a hall member would have to be on site to ensure that the bathrooms are being cleaned, the book is being signed, people are wearing masks and using sanitizer.
Yeah, and I think we can probably just say that we'll revisit it as guidelines change. Because who knows?
Okay. No, fair enough.
Just
I mean, I'll be honest.
next month again, just on a monthly basis.
Okay. Well, then we can, there doesn't need to be a motion then if we're going to review on a monthly basis then, right?
I think we're doing it at every meeting right now then, reviewing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No, fair enough. So reviewing it monthly, then we don't have to put any motions forward though, because currently we're closed. We've just reviewed it. We're remaining closed.
Absolutely, that's fair.
Okay, perfect. Is there any other new business to discuss?
I don't have any.
I don't have anything.
No, I don't either.
Okay. So I know the electrical outlet, Doug, the big part of that was about
Right.
the decorations that were going to be put out at all the halls.
That's correct. Yeah.
So are we wondering if we're getting those decorations now or not?
I think, honestly, I'm just waiting to see if there's a return. There hasn't been a return message from Terry.
Okay.
So that might be the status problem that I'm trying to be polite to you guys. I don't know for sure. I wish I knew. And so I wish we had a better answer for you. I tell you what, I will make sure everybody knows in the group chat group if I get an update from Terry or Mara about that. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one update for you if you'd like. Once you're done with this, sorry, I might have cut you off.
Yeah, I was just going to add one more thing about the electrical outlet is the fact that there are no electrical outlets outside of the hall, period,
Yeah.
full stop. Even if we don't have these decorations coming, it's probably a good idea to have some electrical outlets out there for us in advance. I've got 2 electrical companies to come in to do a quote. To me, it makes sense to just go ahead and do it regardless of these decorations, because we probably should have a plug outside the hall.
I tend to agree. Not sure if we should be spending that money right away, though, if we don't know if we're going to be using it through the winter months. We would spend the money and then it not get used. So I think I would like to revisit this once I have a better understanding about what is being installed. To be honest, guys, I think that the challenge for the township as far as this equipment is that so many things are piling up at once. The recreation department has been very, very busy getting the arena prepared for hockey. And that's a very stressful time for them because of the COVID restrictions and working with all of our user groups. And so I think this might have been just forgotten about. The difficulty there is that Christmas will be coming as quick as anything. And so it will come quickly. So I'm making a note that I'm going to follow this up first thing tomorrow morning. Perhaps we'll get a message or an answer back maybe after the Thanksgiving weekend. Is that okay?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Fair enough.
Thanks, guys.
The only point I want to make is the electrical work's all outside.
Yep.
I know the electricians would prefer to do it before it gets cold outside, and we may not have plugs when the decorations come. Because if we're going to wait till next month to revisit it, that's all.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I read you. I totally dig it. Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. So thank you.
100%.
But
Yeah.
if we needed to, though, we could have a little impromptu meeting, right, to make that decision?
For sure.
Like if we
can.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Okay.
can.
okay.
Yeah, we can.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good stuff. Okay.
Oh, my last little.
Yay.
Well, that's great news.
Perfect.
I messaged her today because that garden looks amazing.
Yeah, it really
It
does.
It does.
No,
Yeah.
just in time for the snow. Isn't that always the way? Things just so nicely about them.
For sure. Okay, if there is no further items to discuss, then I'll ready to adjourn. Is that good with everyone?
Good.
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Yay.
Everyone in favor? Okay. So
Thanks,
be
Calvin.
resolved that the Nottawa Memorial Community Center board meeting adjourned at 7:55 p.m.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Calvin. Thanks, Kayla.
Thanks very much. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Have a good
Happy
weekend.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.